As antique as it is due to decades of modification. Redlining is continuously tied with current issues within low-income communities and minority groups. What was once in motion to create this nation's wealth by selectively accepting or declining people's financial aid requests based on race is known as redlining. Said policy is currently taking part in difficulty for minority and low-income communities to prosper in the United States. To identify the role redlining plays in this issue, the impact on redlining gentrification will be explored. Despite the discontinuation of redlining, this policy is heavily impacting low-income communities and minority groups in form of gentrification and environmental injustice. Please start off by stating your name.
My name is Dayana Dominguez.
Today we will be interviewing Dayana about gentrification and redlining in her area.
We live in a one-bedroom apartment, but the rent is like $1,500. So I do feel like gentrification where I live does affect the rent, and it's affecting my family and our incomes.
My name is Keilany.
Gentrification is an ongoing occurrence in Washington Heights and surrounding locations. How has gentrification impacted you or others around you?
Gentrification has impacted my apartment building because there's a lot more white people living in it now. It's been a slow process, but it's very real, and you could see the effects of gentrification and how a lot of my former neighbors have been pushed out. In addition, I see a lot of small local businesses being replaced by like chain stores. So all the little like bodegas and places that provide a lot of culture to the community are now being replaced with things like McDonald's, Chipotle.
And beyond recent years, there has been a clear connection between gentrification and the displacement of minority residents in these areas. Between 2000 and 2015, Williamsburg and Greenpoint saw a population increase of more than 20,000, but simultaneously saw a decrease of about 15,000 Latino residents. According to the report, in Park Slope, there was a decrease of 5,000 Black and Latino households between 2000 and 2013, even as the area's population grew by more than 6,000 during that same period.
I have friends now who are highly educated, racialized people who live on 108th Street, who pay $2,300 a month in rent. That's gentrification. See, we get bamboozled and we think that it's absolutely tied to race, but also citizenship, right? And wealth and education and all of those other things. But so really, are we talking about gentrification as it relates to this, or are you talking about gentrification as it relates to culture? And that, right, the culture of Washington Heights is X, and because a certain people are coming in, it's erasing the culture, right? There's so many, it's layered. It takes 3 generations to get out the cycle of poverty.
With your knowledge, do you recognize a connection between past redlining policies, gentrification, and selective financial aid for potential property home buyers/renters?
I'd say that yes, there is a connection between redlining and gentrification, because redlining kind of limited the housing options available for minority residents. I definitely think that race and background play a huge role in what financial aid a person receives, because if like a minority renter is asking for financial aid versus like a white person, then due to like implicit bias or stereotypes at the hand of the people like in charge of that money, they could receive less money or they could not receive money at all.
It's not tied to a specific space, right? It's not targeted to different people. It's how can the system profit off of that area? Remember, it's stolen land. Gentrification is a baby of colonization.
I've noticed that also the same J-Hood part that I've mentioned before is checked up on more often. There's new like fences surrounding sections of the parts to just make sure that those parts are well maintained. So I do feel like there's been a shift in how much care the city has been taking of just green spaces or just blocks and yeah.
People can organize when they're not busy working 4 or 5 jobs, when they're not busy thinking about being deported, when they're not busy raising children, when they're not busy dealing with mental illness, when they're not busy thinking about their bodies being disabled or able, right?
Displayed here is a pamphlet around 81st Street where Zoila resides. In many areas, citizens will create meetings to discuss their environment. However, these are not very common in higher poverty neighborhoods due to responsibilities many have to face and jobs people have to attend. In a study conducted in Wheels through a survey, I collected information regarding students' responsibilities, reading. Do you know any classmates that academically were negatively impacted or felt burdened during school hours due to responsibilities or issues at home? In which majority 53.8% responded with a fair amount. In this question, some students even listed their responsibilities, which were online meetings, working with parents to pay rent and bills, dealing with parents that deal with substance abuse issues, taking care of children and elders, cooking for their home, helping parents with work, doing homework, and aiding siblings with online learning. Many of these issues don't even allow high school students to get involved with their own neighborhood. Throughout Washington Heights, one can see wherever gentrification has taken place, the cleaner that place is kept. This could be prevented by introducing more community-based organizations such as the Clean Air Green Corridor to low-income neighborhoods where people who have time to help can protect their communities. In addition, more recycling bins could be placed around high-poverty neighborhoods so even the busiest people can aid their environment when they're simply throwing out their trash, preventing littering, and creating a cleaner space without negatively impacting current residents like gentrification does.